All right, ladies, we're ready to start. So the way my classes usually work is 90% of the time I start in a constructive rest, which is like Shavasana, but instead of that relaxation and just letting everything go in constructive rest, it's preparing to start our practice. So I'm going to have you lay down on your backs. And because we're doing our hip opening today, I want you, if you have blocks available, that's great. And if not, you could put a couple of cushions, whatever you'd like. And I'm just going to lower this a little more so you guys can see me. There we go. And you're going to start by bending your knees, bringing the soles of the feet together, and we're coming in a reclined cobbler or butterfly pose. So you can tuck your blocks underneath the knees or pillows underneath the knees. And we do this to start with because we want that release to happen. And when you have the support, it allows the muscles to relax and it allows an opening to start to happen. So you can place your hands down by your side. You can place them on your belly, wherever is comfortable for you. Lengthen through the back of the neck. And just allow yourself to start to drop into your breath. And if you have done yoga before, your body has that muscle memory and it will automatically start to elongate and deepen when you lay down on your mat. And today we are going to start with our intention, which is loving your body. Speak to your body in a loving way. It's the only one you have. It's your home and it deserves respect. It is a reflection of your journey. So love and embrace it for all that it is, its beautiful perfection, its scars, its flaws, and its limitations. And we always talk about this on Soul Sister Ramblers, about how as we age, that finding acceptance and embracing as our bodies change. And you will really need to dig in and accept that as you become present on your mat. Now, I'm your guide, but remember that you guys are the master of your bodies. And so you know your limitations and you know how far you can go. So if there's something that I suggest that maybe isn't working for you, you can find a modification if it's not one that I'm offering. Or you can come into a child's pose, or you can find an alternate pose that is comfortable for you. So just remember that as you move through your practice today, to really honor your body and what it's offering for you. I'm just going to have you take a few more deep rounds of breath, really as you exhale, releasing the tension. Becoming present mentally, preparing for your practice. Now, if you have pillows or blocks underneath the knees, you're gently going to move them out. Place the hands behind the knees and draw the knees up to center. So we're going to keep the knees bent, soles of the feet on the mat. Feet are hip distance apart. And we're going to come into a reclined pigeon pose. So I'm just going to have you take that right ankle and place it on top of the left knee. You're going to have your right foot flexed. When we flex our foot, it protects our knee joint. So keep that foot flexed. Just going to allow ourselves to settle here, and you're going to take your right hand and you're gently going to push that right knee away from you towards the bottom of the mat. And as you do that, you'll find that your pelvis will want to twist because we're tight. So to make space, the pelvis will move. So I want you to imagine that that pelvis is glued down onto the mat. And so the opening is going to happen through that hip flexor. And just gently breathe into the opening, drawing that knee away from the body. And then we're going to expand on this movement by drawing that right knee, the left knee towards the body. The left shin and calf are parallel to the mat. So now you're going to have both feet flexed, and you're going to take both hands and you're going to thread them through and reach behind that left thigh. Now, if you're finding that you have to lift the upper body because the range of mobility for you doesn't allow you to comfortably do that, you can take your strap and wrap it around the back of the thigh and hold on either side with your strap. So once you settle and relax, the pelvis is down, both feet are flexed, 90-degree angle on that left leg. You're still drawing that right knee away from the body. If you're feeling like you want to move a little deeper, you can bend that left knee and wrap the hand around the front of the shin of the left foot, if you're feeling like you have space in your hips to allow that to happen. So we're drawing that left knee towards the body, right knee away. And then we're going to expand on that, reaching back behind that left thigh again, and we're going to exhale and take that left leg and reach it up into the air. So we're doing that opposite action of drawing down into the left hip, into the mat, and pushing out through the left heel. The right knee is still working away from the body. We're nice and active. Shoulders are soft. On your next exhale, you're going to bend that left leg. Bring the sole of the foot back down, uncross the legs, realign the pelvis, and let's take that left ankle over top of the right knee. Left hand on the inside of that left thigh, and just take a couple of breaths, gently finding space and releasing, drawing that left knee towards the bottom of the mat. Remember that pelvis is grounded down, rooted down on the mat. So the space is coming through the hip flexor and not with the twisting of the pelvis. And when you feel ready, any of the modifications that are available for you, you're going to lift that right leg, 90-degree angle, and thread the hands behind that right thigh, whether you use a strap so that the upper body is resting on the mat, whether you choose to draw that right heel into the buttocks and then wrap around the front of that right shin, creating a deeper opening. Remember that any version is perfectly fine, honoring what your body is offering you. And when you feel ready, we're going to exhale, take that right leg up into the air, take the hands behind that right thigh, push out through the right heel, rooting down through the right hip, and drawing that left knee still away from the body, because when you focus on that right leg, that left knee is going to run and roll back into the body. So draw it away. One more breath. Now we're going to bend that right knee, bring it back down onto the mat, uncross the legs. The knees are going to stay bent, and this is where you're going to reach for your strap. You're going to draw that right knee into the chest, wrap the strap around the ball at the base of the toes, the ball of the big toe, and we're going to exhale and take that left leg, reach it up into the air. If it's available for you, you're going to slide that left leg straight. You're pushing out through both heels. And we're going to talk a little bit about passive and active range of motion here. So if you release all the pressure on that strap and just use your thigh muscle to hold that right leg up, and you draw the toes towards the upper body, this is called active range of motion, where you're not using any support. It is your muscle alone that is doing the action. But if we want to create a little more space, a little more end range of motion, we use our props, our straps, so holding back onto the strap. And as you gently give a little resistance on the strap, drawing the toes towards the upper body. We create more range of motion here. Push out through both heels, soft in the upper body. And then we're going to open up through the hip by taking both pieces of the strap into the right hand. We're going to take that left hand out into a T position. And as you exhale, you're going to exhale and take that right leg off to the right. So when we do that, that left hip is going to want to roll up off the mat. So you really want to be active in drawing that left hip down towards the mat, pushing out through both heels. See if you can open a little deeper in the inner groin and inner thigh by drawing the right toes up towards the top of the body, up towards the head. Engaging your abdominals, inhale back up strongly. We're going to switch both pieces of the strap into the left hand, right hand out into a T position. And then we're going to roll that right leg right over the body. That right hip is going to lift right up off the mat. Turn the head to the right. Nice deep breath. Soften the shoulders. Nice and active through the feet. Remember, keep pushing out through the heels. Engage your abdominals. Inhale back up. Bend the right knee. Slide the right leg down. Let's draw that left knee in. Wrap the strap around. We're going to exhale, take that leg up into the air. So just release the resistance on the strap and feel where your active range of motion is. And then taking hold of the strap, drawing the foot a little closer towards the upper body, pushing out through that right heel. And this is our passive range of motion. Anytime we use any type of prop or support to create more range of motion, this is passive. We're going to take both pieces of the strap into the left hand, right hand out into a T position. Exhale. Take that left leg off to the left. Let's keep that right hip pushing down onto the earth, into the mat. Active through both legs. I'm going to cheat. I'm close to the wall here. I'm going to use the wall. It's actually not cheating. The wall is a great prop to use. And I highly recommend using it as much as possible. So we're going to engage the abdominals. Inhale back up. Both pieces of the strap in the right hand, left hand out into the T. We're going to roll that left hip up and over, taking that left leg across the body. One more breath. Inhale up strongly. Bend the left knee. Move your strap off to the side. Draw both knees into the chest. Give a little rock from side to side. Settle the hips. We're going to rock our way up to a seated position or roll over onto your side, whatever works for you, whatever's comfortable. And we're going to come into a seated position and we're going to take those legs nice and wide so the feet are wider than your hips. So your options here are you can support yourself by bringing the fingertips behind the sitting bones, sitting up nice and tall. Or if you want to challenge yourself a little more, you can grab alternating elbows, sitting up nice and tall as you exhale, keeping the feet nice and wide. As you exhale, both knees drop to the right and that left hip comes up. And then we're going to inhale back through center and over to the left. So remember, hands behind is just as effective. It all depends on how you're feeling today. And usually when I do this, I scoot right off the mat. So we're going to extend this and lengthen a little bit more. So whether your hands are behind or in front, as we drop the knees to the right, you're going to take your right hand to the mat and you're going to exhale and lift the left. And then we're going to come back through. So we're just stretching a little deeper. Once more on each side. And we're going to try and explore a little bit deeper here. So this time, as you come back and you drop that hand, maybe you're going to lift the hips right up. Nice long stretch. Swing the arms around over to the other side. So we're starting to get those quadriceps active here, stretching through the front of the pelvis, down the front of the thighs. I'm going to finish off on this left side. Coming back to center. Walk the feet together. And we're going to roll over onto all fours, coming into our tabletop position. Find your alignment for your cat-cows. In your tabletop, knees are under hips, wrists under shoulders, spread the fingers wide, nice and long through the back of the neck and the back. And as you inhale, belly drops, head and tailbone reach up to the sky. As you exhale, round, everything tucks. So remember, this is the part where we are finding space, warming up, lengthening, and opening up through the spine. So we want to try and keep the arms nice and straight. If we're tight, there's that feeling where you need to bend the arms, because when you bend the arms, then that's where the space is created. So try and keep that focus on keeping the arms long and strong. And then we're going to inhale back to neutral spine. Want you to take that right leg, reach it out long behind you, turn the toes under, and push out through the heels. So the toes are on the mat. We're then going to take that left hand, cup it behind the base of the skull, push out through the heel, and as you inhale, we lift that left elbow up to the sky. And as we exhale, we round and drop the elbow to the inside of the right elbow. 3 more. Inhale, lengthen, twist, exhale, round. 2 more. Really rotate that body to the left, get that elbow up in the air, and connect the elbows together. Last one. So we're going to bring that left arm down, bend that right knee, extend that left leg out long, turn the toes under. You're going to cup the back of the head with the right hand. As you inhale, the body rotates to the right, twist to the right, right elbow goes up. Exhale, drop that right elbow to the inside of the left. Inhale, reach. And to the elbow. 2 more. Last one. Bend that left knee underneath, right hand onto the mat. And we're going to do a little bit of opening up through the hip flexor. So we're going to inhale, take that right leg, that left leg, reach it out long. And as you exhale, you're going to bend the knee, swing it nice and wide, a half circle, and connect to the left elbow. Inhale back. Exhale, swing wide. Keep both arms straight. Inhale back. 2 more. Make sure you swing nice and wide. We're working on those hip flexors. Exhale, bend the left knee. Inhale, take the right leg out. As you exhale, swing wide. Connect the knee and the elbow. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, swing. And reach. 2 more. How's everyone doing? 1 more. And we're going to take that right leg back, bend the knee, and we're going to come into a wide-legged child's pose. So you're going to walk those knees right to the outer edges of your mat and bring the big toes so that they're touching. And then you're going to slide back into your child's pose. And we're just going to roll back for a couple of breaths here in preparation for our next flow. So keeping the arms nice and long, we're going to work on stretching through the quadriceps. You're going to inhale, push up, round through the back, keep the toes together. And as you exhale, lift the feet, pelvis down. And you're going to feel the stretch through the front of the hips, top of the quadriceps. Inhale back through. Exhale, slide the tailbone back to the heels. If you have knee issues, please be careful. Go as far as is comfortable for you. Exhaling, lift, pelvis drops, arms are straight. It's really a nice feeling. We don't often stretch through the front of the body there. 2 more. And our last one. Inhale, really round, push up through cat. Exhale, let that pelvis drop, arms are straight, feel the stretch. And then we're going to inhale back up to neutral spine. Walk those heels back underneath, hip distance apart, working our way up into our downward facing dog. So walk the hands slightly in front of the shoulders, turn the toes under, exhale, let's push on up. And you're just going to walk that dog out a little bit. Stretch through the calves and the backs of the legs. Now, when I tell my students to do this, it's like they're running a race, but just slow it down. Slow it down like you're on a nice, relaxing ramble. Pushing those heels into the earth. Straightening through that leg that's reaching long. And then when you're ready, allow both legs to settle. And coming in, breathing in through our downward facing dog. And we want to open up through the shoulders. So you want those biceps to internally rotate in and up towards the sky. Think about drawing the chest towards the knees and the tailbone up towards the sky. Now, this is actually considered a restorative pose. And most students start to laugh when I tell them that. Eventually, it does become restorative. We're going to work our way up to a forward fold. Inhale, look up, step up. Bend the knees, feet hip distance apart, grab alternating elbows, and gently rock from side to side. Allow the hands to come down to the mat. And we're going to swan dive up. So as you inhale, bend the knees deeply, float the arms up overhead. Palms together. Bring them down through your heart center. And I always do this 2 times. Inhale, reach. And as you exhale, Allow those palms to rest in the heart center. Allow the shoulders to soften. You're going to spread the footprint, but that doesn't mean by moving your feet. It just means allowing yourself to truly connect down onto your mat and into the earth. Lengthening up. Take a moment here to connect back within our intention today, which is loving your body. And just allow yourself to really appreciate what it's offering for you today. On your next exhale, release the hands down by your side. I want you to walk your feet a little farther than hip distance apart. We're going to inhale, take those arms, reach them straight up overhead. So we want to keep the arms parallel to the ears. And what we're going to do is as we bend, I'm going to turn sideways so you can see here. The movement comes through the hips. Nothing moves from the belly button up as you pivot forward. We're going to bend the knees. We're going to exhale and fold forward. Pull the tailbone back. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, pull back. Inhale up. Keep the spine straight. Try and keep those arms in line with the ears. One last time. Exhale, reach. Reach out through the fingertips. Pull the tailbone back. Nice flat spine. And then we're going to inhale straight up. Turn the palms away and bring them down by your side. We're going to start coming into our standing poses here, continuing on with that movement. So that is called, I never use the Sanskrit names because most people don't know them. It's known as the horse pose. So most poses are named after the movement of some animal. So that's what that one is. We are going to transition from that coming into our chair pose. So let's keep our feet, depending on how you feel on your balance, your feet can be together or hip distance apart. You're going to inhale, take those arms, reach them out long in front. And as you exhale, pull that tailbone back. Imagine that chair is about 6 inches behind you. You should be able to lift the toes up off the mat. And we're going to do a flow here. So as you exhale, you're going to exhale, raise the fingertips along the mat, knees bent strongly, hands up behind like a skier. And as you inhale, you flow back through and sit back into your chair. Exhale through. Straighten the legs, give the thighs a break. Inhale, sit back in. Last one. Exhale, flow. Now this time, as you inhale and sit back in, a little alignment tips. So most of us will tend to tip the tailbone up to the sky, and we get this concave. You're going to tuck the tailbone, pull the abdominals in. We want to draw the knees behind the toes. And if it's available, lifting those arms up higher. And on the exhale, pushing all the way up. From here, we're going to transition into our tree pose. Feet are hip distance apart. Bring your hands into heart center. You're going to root down through the right side of the body, roll up onto those left toes. And we're working on that external opening of the left hip flexor. You're going to turn the left knee away from the center and drop the left heel onto the inside of the right shin. So find where your version of your tree is today. Maybe it's here. Maybe it's on the inside of the calf. Maybe you're going to bring it all the way up. Whatever version you are comfortable with today is perfect for you. Just remember, above or below the knee. If we put the pressure on the knee, you're going to injure the knee. If it's available for you today, you're going to inhale, take those arms up overhead. Find your focal point. Trees will sway. It's all good, ladies. And exhaling down with control. Let's draw that left knee into the center and bring the foot down. So we're going to work on the other side. I'm going to lift this a bit so you can see me a little more. There we go. And I always, when I say hands into heart center, I do that because we compress and we feel more balanced and secure. So we're going to root down through the left side this time, roll up onto those right toes, externally rotate that right knee away from the center line, tuck the ankle in, finding your version of your tree today. Finding that focal point, that dristi, focusing on it. So when you settle in, think about externally rotating the right thigh and drawing the right knee back behind, opening the hip flexor, rooting down, and maybe inhaling those arms up. With control, we're going to come back down, draw that right knee forward, and bring it down. From here, we're going to expand on what we did in our tree, what we did on the floor, what we did in our chair pose, combining it all together, and we're going to come into a standing seated pigeon. So the wall is your friend here if you need support in this. I'm going to show you the full version of it, and then I'm going to walk over to the wall and show you the modified version with the wall. So what you're going to do is you're going to sit back into your chair, pull the tailbone back behind, take the weight into the heels. We're going to root down through that right foot. You're going to bend that right knee and drop that right ankle on top of, the left ankle on top of the right knee. Going to bring your hands into heart center. Pull back on the tailbone. Now, if you need the support of the wall, you're going to rest the tailbone on the wall. And maybe you're going to take those arms up overhead, nice and long. Whether you're on the wall or you're free form, nice and strong, you're going to push through that right standing leg and come back up. Uncross. So those thighs should be saying hello to you now. Let's try the other side. Realigning, take your time, settling and grounding. Sit back into your chair. We're going to, which one did we do? We're going to root down through the left side and take that right ankle over top now. So once you get comfortable and settled, try pulling that tailbone back a little further. And then maybe taking those arms, reaching them up long. Be confident. You got this. Nice and strong, pushing up. And bring that right leg down. All right, from here, we're going to transition into a wide-legged pose. So you're going to turn long ways on your mat. So you might want to turn your mat so you can still see me. And we're going to take a nice wide stance on the mat. Legs are straight. We're going to turn the toes in towards the body. And again, we're building on everything that we're doing throughout this class. Keeping the legs straight, the movement is coming through the hips. You're going to exhale, fold forward, flat spine. And you're going to inhale and take those arms, reach them out long. So you're going to want to look up, tuck the chin, reach the arms long. The shoulder blades are pulling in towards each other. And then what we're going to do is open a little deeper through the hips. So take an inhale. As you exhale, bend the right knee, slide the hips over to the right. Inhale back through center. Exhale over to the left. And find the flow with your breath. The inhale is through center. So we're just getting a little deeper into those hips, coming in, getting ready for our peak pose. So we start on the right, you're going to finish on the left side, taking your time. When you're done, hands on hips, and you're going to inhale back up. So we're going to walk our feet just a little bit closer, a little farther than hip distance apart. And because we're all goddesses, our peak pose today is going to be our goddess pose. So what we want to do is we want to turn the feet away from the body. And as we turn the toes out, your knees are naturally going to bend. So we want to turn the toes out, same as we've been doing with everything else. Those knees are working back behind. We're externally rotating, bringing those thighs up, right? So when we're tight, what will happen a lot of times is this tailbone will want to jut out. Tuck the tailbone, sit into your pose. When you feel comfortable in the feet, we're going to take those arms, reach them out long. Palms facing forward. You're going to bend the elbows, coming into our cactus arms. So the elbows are going to be drawing forward, the wrists drawing back. Spread the fingers wide. Hold it there. So to do a little release, we're going to starfish it out. So you're going to inhale, reach. And as you exhale, come back in. Inhale, reach. 2 more. Draw those knees away from each other. Spread those fingers wide. Reach up. And last one. And hold. Soften the shoulders. Root down through the feet. Hold. And come on up. Bring the hands down. Turn the toes in. Heel toe the feet together. And come up to the top of your mat. We're going to work our way down. So I like to do a little flow whenever I work back down to the mat. Hands down by your side. You're going to inhale, float the arms up. As you exhale, bend the knees deeply, fold forward and plant your hands. And then you're going to step back into your high plank. So if you want, you can take a couple of breaths here. If you feel like you're ready to roll back into your child's pose, go ahead and do so. If you're hanging out in your plank, push the shoulders up to the sky, really strong push out through the heels. Let's drop those knees and roll on back. Allow yourself to settle. This is a restorative pose. So I always say when we're in our child's pose, our belly is all compressed, but we have this beautiful, big, open space across the back. So see if you can take your attention to inhaling and feeling those back ribs and the shoulder blades expand and open. Slide the hands under the shoulders. Push up onto all fours. You're going to swing those legs around on your hips, swing your legs around. And we're going to come into a seated twist. You're going to bend both knees. So you're going to bend both knees. You're going to take that right foot, spread it through underneath the left knee. And you have a couple of options here. So you can either take that left heel and slide it to the inside on the right shin. If it's available for you, you can take that left foot, cross it over top onto the outside of the right leg. But if you do this and this is happening, then slide that foot back. We want those hips on the mat. We're going to take that left hand, reach it behind. Inhale, take the right arm up, and as you exhale, we're going to twist to the left. We're going to take those right ribs, twist them to the left, and then we're going to drop that left elbow, the right elbow outside the left knee. And we're going to use the resistance of that right elbow against the left knee to create that passive range of motion, allowing yourself to twist a little deeper. And then maybe you're going to take that left hand, reach it towards that right hip, allowing yourself even more space to deepen the twist. Inhale back to center. Uncross the legs. Knees bent. We're going to take that left foot, slide it underneath the right knee, and either dropping the heel into the shin or crossing it over. So we're going to take that right hand, reach it behind. So as we inhale, we lengthen, create space. We're going to take those left ribs towards that right knee and drop that left elbow on the outside of the right knee. So remember to use that resistance of the elbow against the knee to twist. Maybe you can take that right hand over towards the left hip. One more breath. Inhale back to center. Take both legs, give them a little shake. And we're going to work our way back down. So bend the knees. And we're going to work our way down with control. So take those arms, reach them out long. Try and keep the feet rooted down on the mat. And as you exhale, keep the feet down, keep them down, rolling down. And let's draw the knees into the chest. And before we settle in for Shavasana, I want you to take your hands. You're going to cup your knees so that the fingertips are pointing down towards the ankles. And then as you inhale, draw the knees into the chest. And as you exhale, pull them away and create these big half circles. And as you inhale, pull them into the chest again. Maybe you might want to roll up and connect the face to the knees. And as you exhale, roll the upper body back down. One more time, inhaling up. And then let's draw the knees together, bring the soles of the feet down to the mat. And preparing for Shavasana. So maybe you are going to come into Shavasana the same way you started, settling into reclined cobbler or butterfly. Maybe you're going more comfortable in traditional Shavasana, taking the legs long, drawing them out to either side. Let those feet roll out. And if you place the hands down by your body, just lift the shoulders, tuck the shoulder blades a little bit, really open up through the chest. And then allow the chin to drop down towards the chest, lengthening through the back of the neck. And with each exhale, You visualize the body becoming heavier, connecting deeper with the mat, becoming immobile. You are safe and secure. You can release tension. Let the body soften. Let your breath soften. Keeping the eyes closed, removing that visual distraction, that stimulation that it can cause, and really allow yourself to drop in for the next 2 minutes. Allow the body to reawaken. Start deepening the breath. Start awakening the fingertips and toes. And when you feel ready to move further, I want you to slide the feet together, legs straight. Inhale, take the arms up overhead. Take a nice long stretch. Sigh it out through the mouth. And then draw the knees into the chest. Wrap the arms around. Give yourself a little love. Gently roll over onto your side and allow yourself to rest there for a few breaths. And as we prepare to close our practice with the intention of loving your body, and I said to my body softly, I want to be your friend. It took a long breath and replied, I've been waiting my whole life for this. Gently push up, find a comfortable seated position. Bringing our palms together and connecting them into our heart center. As we prepare to close our practice, may you remember to hold on to that love for your body. Remember all the amazing things that it provides for you. It's been through a journey, and we have some scars to show for it, but it loves us and it's with us through life. As you go back out into the world, I wish that it remained kind to you. As you move through your week, remember to keep those thoughts and words kind upon yourself and others. Namaste.